In a world where values such as compassion, empathy, and kindness are often revered, the notion of not always adopting a gentle approach toward others may seem perplexing or even contradictory. Yet, Buddhism offers a profound and insightful perspective that challenges this conventional thinking. Gautama Buddha, the enlightened teacher who established Buddhism over 2,000 years ago, imparted timeless wisdom that transcends simple courtesy. His philosophy delves deeply into the core of human interaction, guiding individuals toward inner peace and spiritual growth. In this video, we will explore the profound insights of the Buddha and examine why, in certain circumstances, gentleness alone may not be sufficient. We will explore why, at times, a more nuanced and balanced approach to engaging with the world is essential. At the age of 29, Gautama Buddha embarked on a transformative journey in search of answers to life's most fundamental questions. What is the root of human suffering, and how can one attain lasting joy and inner tranquility? After years of disciplined meditation, profound reflection, and self-mastery, he reached enlightenment beneath the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, India. From that moment, he became known as the Buddha, the Awakened One, and dedicated his life to sharing the insights he had gained. Buddha's spiritual teachings are encapsulated in two central frameworks: the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. These essential doctrines form the foundation of Buddhist philosophy, offering practical and meaningful guidance for navigating the complexities of everyday life. The Four Noble Truths, in particular, provide a pathway to understanding the nature of suffering and the path to spiritual liberation. Let us now delve into these teachings and explore how they relate to the seemingly paradoxical idea that, at times, gentleness may not be the most effective way to engage with life and others. The truth of suffering. The first of the Buddha's Noble Truths acknowledges a fundamental aspect of human existence: the presence of suffering. Buddha recognized that life inevitably involves various forms of distress, ranging from physical discomfort to emotional turmoil, as well as the constant dissatisfaction driven by insatiable desires and unfulfilled cravings. While kindness and compassion may offer temporary comfort, they do not address the deeper sources of suffering. Gautama Buddha urges us not to shy away from this truth, but to face it directly and with honesty. By acknowledging suffering's role in our lives, we gain deeper insight and understanding, enabling us to find meaningful solutions and ultimately transcend suffering's grip. The truth of the cause of suffering. The second noble truth illuminates the origins of suffering, pointing to our cravings and attachments as the core issues. Human beings are instinctively drawn to pleasure and naturally recoil from discomfort, yet it is precisely this tendency to cling to pleasurable experiences and avoid unpleasant ones that creates a cycle of suffering. In certain instances, excessive gentleness or accommodation may arise from our own attachments, whether that be the desire for approval, fear of rejection, or the need to maintain a favorable image. According to the Buddha, true freedom lies in loosening these attachments. This freedom does not imply emotional detachment or indifference, but rather a cultivation of a steady, compassionate perspective that is not driven by the need for external validation. The cessation of suffering. The third noble truth offers a message of profound optimism. Suffering is not permanent, nor is it an immutable state. It can be overcome. By releasing the underlying causes, our cravings, attachments, and emotional dependence on others' opinions, we open ourselves to the possibility of genuine peace. When we cease seeking constant approval or trying to please everyone at the expense of our own well-being, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of suffering. In this space of inner freedom, we begin to experience a more authentic and enduring sense of contentment. The truth of the path to the cessation of suffering. The fourth noble truth presents the Eightfold Path, a comprehensive guide for liberating oneself from suffering and attaining enlightenment. This path consists of three essential components: ethical behavior, mental cultivation, and the development of wisdom. While being consistently kind and gentle toward everyone may seem commendable, the Eightfold Path calls for discernment and clarity in our actions and relationships. The Eightfold Path consists of 8 interconnected practices: right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. These principles are designed to help individuals align with truth and balance, cultivating a life of integrity and purpose. This framework is rooted in the concept of the middle way, a central Buddhist teaching that advocates for balance and the avoidance of extremes. In the realm of interpersonal relationships, especially when deciding whether to be gentle with others, the middle way encourages a thoughtful equilibrium between kindness and wisdom. Gautama Buddha's own life offers a profound illustration of this principle. Prior to his enlightenment, he lived in the lap of luxury as a prince, indulging in every comfort. Later, he subjected himself to extreme ascetic practices, denying his body in the hope of achieving spiritual gain. Neither of these extremes led him to the peace he sought. Only when he embraced the middle way, a balanced path between indulgence and deprivation, did he achieve true awakening. Applying this wisdom to our daily lives requires recognizing when gentleness may be counterproductive. Being overly soft or accommodating can sometimes enable harmful or destructive behavior, while being too rigid or severe can cause unnecessary pain. The middle way teaches us to engage with others through discernment, knowing when to offer compassion and when to set healthy boundaries. This understanding is crucial when exploring the deeper meaning of compassion in Buddhism. True compassion is not about permitting harmful behavior or neglecting one's own needs in the name of others' comfort. Rather, it is grounded in a profound understanding of suffering, its causes and its remedies, and a commitment to alleviating that suffering through skillful and wise action. Compassion, in this light, becomes a dynamic, intentional practice that may, at times, require firmness, honesty, or setting boundaries, not simply softness or indulgence. There is a Buddhist parable about a raft that serves as a powerful metaphor, shedding light on the idea that gentleness is not always the most appropriate response in every situation. This well-known story emphasizes the temporary and functional nature of the Buddha's teachings and illustrates the importance of knowing when to release what is no longer needed. In the story, a man must cross a wide and dangerous river. To do so, he constructs a simple raft from whatever materials he can find. The raft serves its purpose, carrying him safely to the opposite shore. Once he reaches the far bank, he wisely chooses not to continue carrying the raft on his back for the rest of his journey. He understands that the raft was a necessary tool to get him across, but once its purpose was fulfilled, it was no longer needed. But it is no longer useful once its purpose has been fulfilled. This parable teaches us that, like the raft, the teachings of Buddhism are practical tools meant to help us navigate suffering and ignorance. They are not sacred objects to be clung to beyond their utility. Similarly, our inclination to be consistently gentle and kind must be examined through the lens of adaptability. There are moments when showing compassion and softness is exactly what is needed. Like the raft, it provides support and comfort to those struggling to stay afloat in difficult times. However, there are also circumstances where persistent gentleness becomes counterproductive, even enabling harmful patterns in ourselves or others. In such instances, holding on to gentleness for its own sake can become a barrier to growth and liberation. The parable reminds us that just as we must know when to set the raft down, we must also recognize when to shift our approach from gentle support to wise firmness or clear boundaries. Ultimately, the path to liberation requires flexibility and insight. We must cultivate the ability to assess each situation carefully and respond with appropriate wisdom. True compassion does not always manifest as softness. At times, it demands strength, honesty, and the courage to release behaviors or attitudes that no longer serve a higher purpose. The Parable of the Mustard Seed, a reflection on suffering. The parable of the mustard seed revolves around a heartbroken mother who has recently lost her child. Consumed by sorrow and desperate for relief, she seeks the Buddha's help, hoping he might bring her child back or ease her overwhelming grief. The Buddha listens compassionately and agrees to assist her, but with a specific condition. She must find a single mustard seed from a household that has never experienced the loss of a loved one. Motivated by hope and determined to fulfill the Buddha's request, the woman visits one home after another, asking if they have ever known the pain of death. As she speaks with family after family, she comes to a painful realization. Every household has endured loss in some form. Death and grief are universal experiences that touch every life. Upon completing this journey, she returns to the Buddha, no longer expecting a miracle, but with a profound awareness that suffering is a shared human experience. This parable conveys a powerful message. Pain, loss, and mourning are inseparable from life. No one is exempt from sorrow, and every person, regardless of status or circumstance, must eventually confront the reality of suffering. When viewed through the lens of not always being gentle with others, this story reveals that kindness, while comforting, may not always be sufficient to guide someone through life's most profound challenges. Gentleness can offer momentary relief or soothe emotional distress, but it does not resolve the deeper truths that shape the human journey. What truly transforms suffering is wisdom, the kind of insight that the Buddha shared through this lesson. In this context, the parable shows us that offering only gentle words or soft reassurances can sometimes fall short of what is truly needed. True compassion sometimes requires guiding others toward difficult truths, rather than shielding them from pain. By understanding the shared nature of suffering, individuals can move toward acceptance, inner peace, and spiritual growth. The teachings of Buddhism, therefore, emphasize the enduring value of insight, reminding us that while gentleness has its place, it is the clarity and depth of wisdom that ultimately lead to liberation from suffering. Applying the middle way in everyday life, creating and honoring boundaries. An essential aspect of practicing the middle way is learning how to set and honor healthy boundaries. While qualities like kindness, empathy, and flexibility are important, it is equally vital to safeguard our emotional and mental well-being. In Buddhism, establishing boundaries is not seen as a lack of compassion. Rather, it is viewed as a wise and caring act, both for ourselves and for those with whom we interact. Boundaries help foster respectful relationships, prevent emotional depletion, and encourage mutual understanding. Responding to destructive behavior. When confronted with harmful actions or patterns, the middle way invites us to respond with both clarity and compassion. This may involve directly addressing the issue, guiding the individual toward healthier behavior, or seeking professional help if the situation calls for it. The middle way steers us away from extremes, responding with unnecessary severity, or conversely, ignoring the issue and allowing it to persist. By maintaining a balanced approach, we can work toward solutions that are both ethical and effective. Handling disagreements and tension disputes and misunderstandings are inevitable in relationships and communication. According to the middle way, the goal is not to deny or suppress these conflicts, but to face them with awareness and thoughtful action. Rather than avoiding confrontation for the sake of maintaining superficial peace, we are encouraged to engage in open, respectful conversations. This involves practicing mindful speech, actively listening to others, and being receptive to different perspectives. By doing so, we move beyond shallow calm and foster deeper, more authentic harmony based on mutual respect and understanding. The practice of skillful means. In Buddhist philosophy, the concept of skillful means, upaya, plays a crucial role in helping individuals progress on their path to awakening. It refers to the thoughtful use of methods and actions tailored to the specific circumstances, temperament, and needs of each person. In the context of choosing not to be gentle with everyone, skillful means becomes an essential tool for offering compassionate, effective, and context-sensitive guidance. Adapting compassion to the situation. Choosing not to be consistently gentle does not mean becoming harsh, cold, or unkind. Rather, it calls for a refined sense of awareness and sensitivity to what a person genuinely needs in a given moment. True compassion is not one-size-fits-all. It must be flexible and responsive. Through the application of skillful means, we can adjust our behavior and responses to strike the right balance between kindness, direction, and necessary boundaries. Understanding personal differences. Every individual follows a unique path shaped by their personal experiences, beliefs, and emotional landscape. Some people thrive when approached with gentleness and empathy, while others may require more directness or structured guidance to truly grow. Practicing skillful means involves recognizing these differences and tailoring our interactions in ways that support each person's journey without assuming that a one-size-fits-all method applies universally. Practicing deep listening and empathy. At the core of skillful means lies the ability to listen attentively and empathetically. By being fully present and attuned to the emotional and psychological needs of others, we can respond with wisdom that resonates deeply. This approach allows us to offer thoughtful, compassionate support that is grounded in clarity, without sacrificing our own emotional health or energy. By practicing deep listening, we create space for others to be heard, fostering an environment where wisdom and compassion can naturally emerge. Embracing the truth of impermanence. The principle of impermanence is a central teaching in Buddhism, reminding us that everything in existence, including our emotions, attachments, and relationships, is in constant flux. Recognizing this truth becomes especially meaningful when considering the idea that gentleness is not always the appropriate response for everyone. Emotional shifts are natural. Our emotions are fluid, often shaped by external circumstances and internal states. If we respond with persistent softness or severity based solely on fleeting emotions, we risk destabilizing our relationships. By embracing the ever-changing nature of our feelings, we can meet each situation with steadiness and insight, rather than reacting impulsively. This approach helps us remain grounded even in moments of emotional turbulence. Change within relationships. No relationship remains exactly the same. People grow, situations evolve, and the dynamics we share with others shift over time. Understanding impermanence allows us to appreciate the present without clinging to a fixed idea of how relationships should be. It teaches us to adapt, to cherish the moment, and to release when necessary, all without resistance. Handling disagreements. The power of letting go. One of the deepest lessons impermanence offers is learning how to release our grip on expectations, control, and rigid ideals, such as the need to always be gentle. Holding on too tightly to any one approach can hinder both personal growth and the development of our relationships. A mindset rooted in flexibility and acceptance allows our relationships and responses to unfold naturally and appropriately in each moment. Mindfulness and compassion toward the self. At the heart of Buddhist practice lies mindfulness, an awareness of the present moment, free from judgment. Coupled with mindfulness, Self-compassion becomes a powerful ally in the practice of wise engagement, especially when we choose not to default to constant gentleness. Embracing kindness toward ourselves. Mindfulness encourages us to treat ourselves with understanding and care. In the pursuit of balance, where we aim not to overextend gentleness, we must also ensure we're tending to our own emotional needs. A compassionate relationship with ourselves enables us to act from a place of strength and clarity, avoiding emotional exhaustion or resentment. Watching without reacting. Non-judgmental awareness allows us to observe our inner world without becoming entangled in it. When facing difficulties or challenging individuals, mindfulness offers us the opportunity to pause, notice our immediate reactions, and choose a more thoughtful response. This space between reaction and action is where true wisdom and compassion emerge, enabling us to engage more mindfully with others and ourselves. Cultivating inner balance, equanimity. Equanimity, a core quality in Buddhist practice, involves maintaining inner balance and calm, regardless of external circumstances. By cultivating equanimity, we develop the capacity to remain grounded amidst life's ups and downs. This inner balance enables us to make decisions that are aligned with wisdom, compassion, and the middle way, whether we are interacting with others, navigating emotional challenges, or setting boundaries. One of the Brahma Viharas in Buddhist tradition is equanimity, the ability to remain centered amid life's changing tides. It provides a steady presence that fosters both understanding and compassion, especially in moments where being overly gentle may not serve the greater good. Developing equanimity allows us to approach others with a calm, steady heart, helping us avoid being swept away by intense emotions, whether they arise from within or are projected onto us by others. In the context of not always being gentle, equanimity supports our ability to remain compassionate without becoming passive or permissive. It is important to remember that choosing not to be gentle in every situation does not give us license for coldness or cruelty. Instead, it is an invitation to embody true compassion, one grounded in deep awareness, discernment, and a sincere desire to support the liberation and well-being of all sentient beings. As we walk the middle way, we reflect the enduring wisdom of the Buddha, aiming to bring more harmony and balance into our relationships and into the world around us. Ultimately, it is the graceful blend of kindness and discernment that leads us to the essence of genuine compassion, a compassion not ruled by fleeting feelings but rooted in wisdom, offering enduring peace for both ourselves and others. Today we've explored a perspective on compassion that is often overlooked. The idea that true kindness doesn't always mean being endlessly gentle. As we've seen through the teachings of the Buddha, real compassion is grounded in wisdom, balance, and discernment. It's about knowing when to offer softness and when strength and clarity are what's truly needed. The middle way invites us to embrace both, whether it's setting boundaries, letting go, or offering guidance rooted in insight. Buddhism teaches us that love and wisdom must go hand in hand. If this video gave you something to reflect on, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. And remember, compassion isn't about pleasing everyone. It's about uplifting others with clarity and care. Until next time, stay mindful, stay kind, and stay connected to your path. See you in the next video.